But daddy is a state of mind, you know what I'm saying? I'm your daddy.
Let's go.
Get up on y'all. You gonna learn today.
Daddy, chill.
Call me Daddy.
We're rolling. All right. As we start here, I got to do something. Ready? For last night.
That was like...
That was one of the most epic things I've seen on television.
It's like it's part of in the contract for the UFC fighters at this point. It's like they know. It's like he's gonna be.
You got to pay homage to Trump.
Yeah, man. It's pretty cool to watch how John Jones, salutes him, and Chandler salutes him, and there's a guy in every fight that's paying homage to the guy. It's pretty neat.
I mean, the guy rolls out with like the Caesar's crew of fucking gladiators.
Yeah.
RFK, Tulsi, Elon, all these guys. The crowd's fucking bananas.
It was one of the best UFC events I've
Man,
watched.
that was so much fun
in a
last
while.
night. So much fun. I mean, John Jones is the greatest of all time. He's the GOAT.
Like Chad was just like, "Am I really good here? Am I really?" It's like
He felt worried.
I'm like, Chad, it's not a matter of if, it's just when and how he wants to do it. He'll make his choice how he's going to win this fight, and he's going to put on a show for the people. And he fucking toyed with that
He
guy.
toyed with him. It's like throwing a mouse in a snake cage.
The greatest heavyweight of all time was made out to be a lamb last
He
night.
just peppered
Yeah.
him. That first round though, I thought he's finishing him, and then he probably was like, a couple more rounds. Let me beat him up a little bit.
Put on a show.
He did put on a show.
I could appreciate that.
Guy's amazing. And then the night before, the night before we had Tyson Paul,
Which is ludicrous.
which you made the best comment of the night. How are we even allowed to bet on this?
It should be one of the biggest American crimes in the history of sports gambling. Because obviously that is a fixed event. That is a televised production where there's directors and there's a script. That was no different than a WWE match. And what was really upsetting was like watching Mike Tyson, who so many of us are like, idolize as like the greatest like heavyweight boxer of all time and most vicious knockout artist. He was just like, he was biting on his glove.
Yeah, he kept. I got a biting fixation.
Yeah, it was just strange. It was just a strange fucking night.
I thought he was biting his gloves to hold his hands up because his arms were probably getting tired from just because he's so fucking old.
Somebody told me yesterday they think it was like part of his tick of letting Jake Paul know not to keep hitting me. Like, give me a second here. He's a 58-year-old man.
Yeah.
He had an ulcer like 3 months ago. Like,
We were all hyped up, and then when he walks down, you looked at me and you just said, "And he looks really old here. He looks really old."
It didn't look right.
No, it didn't
I felt
look right.
sorry for the man.
Yeah. It's like throwing a grandpa in a ring,
I'm not with all that stuff. That stuff for me is like, I've never been a fan of wrestling. I always think it's like, not for me. It's just, let's all grow up. I'm going to play with action figures now. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm not for the pretend. I think that's why I like the UFC, because 2 men or 2 women get locked in a cage and they beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
And it can be tactical. It could be a war.
We all love that.
It's real. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not for that stuff. That whole manufactured shit. And 65 million people watched it. That's the crime in it. How many people sat there? The woman's fight, though, was
The woman's fight was amazing.
It was,
It's like 1,300 punches thrown between them.
Ledecky and Serrano.
Serrano.
Yeah, it was really.
It was that. Do you want to talk about fixed? Like that Serrano chick should have won. I mean, it was almost like
I poisoned it with my bet, so I was on it and I ruined it. I apologize to the woman.
your bets are been poisoned lately.
Yeah,
Real bad.
I don't know what to tell you. It's just I can't control
The John
outcomes.
Jones knockout was great, though. That was great.
I looked at you right as he came out.
Everybody went around. We're all on TK. We're all on knockout. We're all on knockout. We're all on knockout.
Yeah, the moment would have been if Chandler would have won that fight. The roof on my house might have came off last night.
I've never seen so many unathletic, overweight, grown ass men get out of their chair so fast to hover around a fucking TV that's already 70 inches big.
85.
85. My bad. 85.
It was a good moment. See, for me, that moment is everything last night. I get to do it with my whole group of buddies out here. We just moved to Vegas. Got a nice house. Like I'm able to like have everybody over. And, like the whole room is on one guy to win. He's a 2-1 dog.
Everybody.
And nobody bets like, like $50. Like, there's probably like $10,000 on this guy. and my brother's got like a $20,000 parlay if this guy knocks him out.
Your brother was the highs and lows from your brother last night were awesome to watch, but
he's sitting there
terrible.
telling me, I fucking hate this sport. And I'm like, it's the best.
You're a fighter.
You cover the sport. It's just like it's stressful. If you like, I sat through that card last night. Like if you don't get any success as a guy who's wagering on the fights, you can get your ass kicked. You had to bet all different ways last night because everybody was such a big favorite.
Yeah, it was weird. And then Bo Nickel was like minus 1,400, and
right after the
that
first
was
round,
terrible
4-1.
Terrible fight.
Yeah, it was more or less the energy and the atmosphere of last night's UFC was off the charts incredible. This guy Dana White just knows what he's doing.
He knows.
And they did it perfectly where, he's going to come back and fight again. Anytime that man fights on a card, it's like that. We could all get together.
But who does he fight?
Now it gets real serious because there's no cop-out fight. He could only fight Aspinall, or Francis Ngannou in a mega fight, or Alex Pereira. Any which way we go there, like they had it up on the board last night. If Jones fights Aspinall, he's a plus 130 favorite. Vegas is either going to lose a lot that night or everybody's going to win a lot that night because everybody's going to bet John Jones at plus money. Yeah, him versus Pereira would be an insane fight too. Like I don't know what the line would be on that, but the more opportunity people could see John Jones fight, the better, because he's just such a draw.
And he's undefeated. He's got one DQ.
Yeah, but
I mean 28-0 basically.
Nobody's beat the guy.
No.
Nobody will beat the guy, in my opinion, but it's like I enjoyed that last night. I'm like a junkie fan of the UFC over the last couple of years. I love going to the events. I love being, on my couch.
The best was
watching.
the Chandler fight. Just after every round, he's just on the ground for 3.5 minutes. All we need is one. We just need one punch. We just need one punch.
Around 3 minutes when Oliveira would put him on the ground, the guy Melfi was like, all right, guys, here we go. We're on to round 4. Like we knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
he gave it a shot, though, that 5th round. It's like, I could not believe he had him on the ground just bashing the back of his head.
Just shows
40 times.
how tough these guys are.
Yeah.
I like watching when the ladies go in there like, would I be able to? No. They would just beat the shit out of us.
Yeah.
It's a different fucking game, man.
And that John Jones kick, I watched that thing probably 100 times afterwards.
Clearly broke the guy's ribs.
I've never seen somebody just melt from a kick. Like he basically just gave up.
He said, I'm good.
I'm good. I can't. I want down to the
John
ground.
Jones beat the best heavyweight so bad last night that his speech afterwards, you actually kind of felt for the guy. You guys like, yeah, I'm done here.
Yeah.
I had nothing left.
Yeah, let me go get my hoses.
You guys wanted to see if this was real. Yeah, it was real, and I got no shot here.
I got nothing.
Nothing. It was good though.
What's your? I was thinking about this last night because John Jones is now like he's entered the Mount Rushmore of athletes. What's the Mount Rushmore of athletes for you?
For me personally,
Yeah.
I'll always be a Michael Jordan guy. First and foremost, I just believe in winning is everything. And he believed that. And that's the way he approached it. And if you've ever seen The Last Dance, if you're going to pick an athlete to go into battle with and you're not picking him first, well, I'm picking Tom Brady second. Because Tom Brady wasn't that good at the game. He made himself that good at the game. So he would definitely be my football GOAT. But Patrick Mahomes is going to take that title from him. It's weird because we saw what we thought would never be able to be topped in a career with Brady, and I think we might see it get topped in like.
So you're saying you think
decade.
you think he can win 8 Super Bowls?
I just think he's gonna win like 5 in the matter of like 10 years, and then at that point, like, I don't think there's any question anymore. He makes plays that Brady never made and never could make and never will make. Like, and that's the difference, like, in the IQ of like his athletic abilities that he's able to create more plays outside the pocket, on top of just the way he can throw the ball. Brady Brady was a system guy that turned into a all-pro with seasoning, and years of he wasn't that guy for
It took him like 10 years to get to that.
Correct, So I don't know. So it would be Jordan, it would be Brady, Gretzky for sure when it comes to hockey.
What about baseball?
Barry Bonds was just so fucking good. Nobody wants to give the guy his flowers. Yeah, he probably, he definitely took
Everybody
steroids.
was everybody. Though.
Everybody was.
The pitchers, everybody.
I'm all for pure domination. And what that man did was, my childhood was they would pause SportsCenter to bring you live to his at-bats.
Yeah, when he was chasing 70.
They don't do that. No, just every time he would get up that year, because he would hit a home run every other at-bat. It was just insane.
And if they actually pitched to him that year, he would have hit over 100.
Probably, yeah. To me, I'm all about people who dominate their space.
They walked him with the bases loaded.
Because it was a better business move.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy John Franco. Struck him out 3 times.
Before analytics, too.
Yeah.
They walked him with the bases loaded.
If this was the common era, he might see a pitch once every week.
Yeah.
They might pitch to him on Thursdays.
Seriously.
They would never, with the softness of baseball these days, with everything being analytical, Barry Bonds would never pitch. He might hit 20 home runs a year,
Yeah, I know. I go Jordan, Gretzky, I go Griffey. I grew up with the Griffey era.
So did I, but
and then Brady, obviously.
Griffey was the coolest baseball player to ever touch the diamond. He had the video game, the hat backwards, the coolest swing ever.
Best swing.
Yeah.
That's going to be the MLB logo one day. It's got to be.
As it should be, you know what I mean? But he never won anything. To me, that's why I'm always hesitant. Because then at that point, it's no different than who's a good example at that point, who's just never won anything but is an elite. It'll come to me.
Dan Marino?
Yeah, like Dan Marino. Everybody loves Dan Marino. Everybody loves to talk about how great Dan Marino was. Never won shit.
Undefeated.
How great was he?
Yeah.
How great could the guy have been? He never won. Oh, Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly went to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row.
And lost.
He's a loser. It's not, oh, well, no. You have 4 shots at the biggest game in the history of the sport. You can't win it once. You are a loser. I always make this joke and people get mad at me. The only thing Jim Kelly's ever beat was cancer. Because it's the truth. Never won the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Fuck him.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, you even have Brady lost twice, or 3 times. Was it twice? No, 3 times.
Brady lost a bunch in the Super Bowl. Yeah. That's what's also different about Mahomes. How many times?
But Mahomes' only loss is against Brady.
Correct. Who knows, man? It's so early, but you would think all the numbers and all the stats say he'll be better than Brady when it's all said and done.
You think you think they beat the Bills today?
How could you not think it? They just win every week. No, I think Josh Allen gets his flowers today because he finally runs into a...
Bills are going to beat him in the regular season, and then the Chiefs will get him back in the playoffs. It happens every year. This is what's going to happen. Josh Allen's going to win, and they're going to be like, oh, Josh Allen. Playoffs come around. Mahomes is going to have a home game, and it's
you can't beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead in January, February. It's near impossible.
Near impossible. It's just like going to fucking the Patriots.
Going to Foxborough.
Going to Foxborough. Yeah.
Just good luck,
Yeah. Good fucking luck. Did you see the debut patch bounty for the Skeens? Did you see the Pirates came out with that?
It's
what's your thoughts on that? It's a team now is getting involved. I think it's great for the hobby. I think it's great for the whole aspect of cards, and it gets everybody involved now. You have an organization that is going out of their way to come up with some sort of,
well, now you have
plan to pay.
Ken Golden saying you don't need to take tickets. You'll make more money on this card than you buy every ticket in the world. And somebody said, oh, you could sell the tickets behind the plate every game. Let me explain something to you. If you happen to be listening to this and you hear this and you hit the Skeens and you don't sell that card, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay? We project it to be $3, $4, maybe $500,000. Guy sells better than any pitcher we've ever seen in the history of the business.
Yep.
That card is my friend G would say, more liquid than my ass after I just had Taco Bell. That card is simple. It's easy and the easiest high-end moving card in the history of baseball cards, probably. I couldn't find you a six-figure card that's easier to move. There's 1,000 buyers that'll pony up to buy that card. You know, it's...
I thought the offer from the Pirates was actually weak. I thought it was
then
weak.
Livy Dunn gets involved, and
Yeah.
like it's cute. I get it. Like Fanatics, you have her as one of your athletes. Like if her offer didn't include a week of me banging her in Hawaii, then don't make any offer. It's no different than the guy who had the 50-50 home run ball with Ohtani. And they tried to trap him. The Dodgers, give us the ball back. We'll give you tickets and this, that. The guy got millions of dollars for that ball.
And nobody, my whole thing, everyone's going, well, the tickets are worth this. Like, first of all, it's a 1 in a million shot that someone even hits that card who's even close to fucking the stadium, 1. 2, you want to spend the next 30 years flipping tickets? Nobody wants to sit there and flip tickets for 30 years. The card, take the money and fucking run.
See, for Fanatics, they should step in because this is the first time this year, not being a Brady card, you have put 6-figure chasing on the table. You have legitimate, like this product, right, has the biggest upside than any product that's come out in the last 6 months. It's a fact. It's not an opinion. There is no football product. There is no basketball product outside. Okay, the Wemby Black Decker.
Are you? But you're mainly talking about Tops, right?
I'm
Or
talking
just
about
in general. The
throughout
Wemby
all
Black Deck is still alive. That's a $500,000 card.
Probably more, but like outside of the Wemby 101s, there's no cards in circulation that you could chase of a 20, 30 player pool that are going to be worth 15, 20, 30, 50, 100, 200.
Yeah, you have
300.
Caminero, Churio, Holiday, Ellie,
Langford,
J-Dom, Langford,
Shota,
Yamamoto,
Jung Ho
Jung-Ho
Lee. Like Marco Luciano was a top 5 prospect for a while. Merrill.
Like Merrill's probably
Yuki
going to do
Matsui's
25 to
probably
30.
15,000. Like there's no products that we get a chance to offer people.
The problem is they put it in a dog shit product. And Topps Chrome Update is dog shit. If they didn't have debut patches in that product, those boxes would be $150. They'd be $150. A case in point, last year's, you can buy a case right now of Delight last year's for $1,500. Yeah, granted, dude, most of the big names have been pulled, but it's just, I wish Topps did a better job of facilitating those cards into a premier product or somehow divvy them up to where you have a shot at hitting that card out of any product. So you know, like how they do the fucking what's the inserts called? I can't remember the inserts. I can't remember the inserts.
But you can't sit here and act like you're surprised, right? And I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to catch heat around the office for it. Fanatics has been a money-grabbing, product-driving organization since they've taken over.
Of course.
The Brady autos and the Wemby autos and milking out certain things like, you know, look, this is no shock to me. I don't make the rules. I don't, you know, decide any of this stuff.
They're going to milk Wemby as long as they possibly can.
They send the product. We figure out the best way to sell it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Would I sit here and personally spend my money on it? I don't know. I would say no on release day, and I'd say 4 days later, yes, because of what the chases are. And, you know, here are my questions. Are they holding back these big debut patches because we're 5 days in, and I would have to say $50, $60 million worth of this product has been ripped in the sense of sales between Fanatics Live, whatnot, Instagram Live, YouTube, Facebook. Where the fuck are the first 25 guys? The best card that's surfaced has been a Pete Crow Armstrong.
Or Colton Cowser, I think.
Well, Colton Cowser. Okay, nice, cool. But where is one of the top 5 guys? Where is one of the top 10 guys? Because I know how much product we've ran through, and I know some of the other shops, what they've run through. And you would think at some point, someone's running into one of the big ones.
Yeah, like on Fanatics Live, it's been 24 hours, 24/7 running that product since Wednesday.
And nobody's pulled one?
Nobody's pulled any of the big guys.
But that's
the big
my
names,
point.
yeah.
Like you would see somebody at this point.
You have to.
There's way too much volume. So
I also think they put way too many in. They went from 91 last year to 251. So they basically added, they almost quadrupled it.
yeah, they
Or
added
they
1,000%, 1,000% more. Yeah.
And 90% of those guys, they don't even have base. Some of them don't even have base cards. They're just in there. Like there's like a 37-year-old rookie pitcher that got, I don't know. I don't see that helping the product. Yes, you're going to see more come out more frequently and people get excited because last year it was impossible to hit.
Well, there was only 20 of them last year. So if
No,
you
there's
were
91 last year.
91. If you were one of the people that hit it last year, it was like really special.
Yeah, I mean, we pulled the Drew Maggi. The guy was in the minor leagues for fucking 13 years, and it still sold for like $3 or $4 grand.
Like Billy's pulled 2 now in 3 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that would never happen last year.
No.
But I'm not shocked by it. Would I change things around if I was running that company, the way they release these products? Yeah, I would probably just do one Topps Chrome. We don't need an update. We don't need, a Topps Chrome, a Bowman Chrome, and a fucking Finest where these guys, like you need to put these guys in one key Chrome product. Topps product, a Bowman product, and then you have your high end. Because now I can go look in the market and I can find an LE Auto in 5 different ways for a Topps Chrome card.
Yep.
I'm good, Like what I will say, what they did well on this side of the product is they made Skeens on card, which made him. This is his Topps Chrome rookie
This is
stuff.
his first stuff.
I have a hard
Essentially.
time. I can't shit on the product, but I can understand the frustration by people because classically this has been a close to a retail product that's now been bumped to a higher tier product that doesn't always meet the requirements necessary. I've ripped all 3 SKUs at this point. I would not offer hobby to my people again. But that's just how Whatnot runs. You know what I mean? Like
It doesn't work for Whatnot. One auto, not that many parallels, a lot of base cards. People want to see hits. They want to see shit. They want to see hits. They want to see numbered cards. They want to see
it's not
parallels.
Even, we don't want to get caught up in an hour of ripping.
Yeah.
That model to us is the Stone Age. Like
It kills the room.
Correct. Let's do Breakers of the Light. Let's go fast. Let's do National Treasures. Let's go fast. Let's do, Select, which is a quick rip in the sense. But like once you get into these like 20 packs a box and it's 10 boxes and it's fucking 1 million cards, you put people to sleep.
Yeah.
And that stuff is like, I will never understand why they print that much shit. Same thing with Prism though. Like why we got to have fucking 120 cards in a box?
And a 450 card checklist.
Just give me 20 cards in the box. Give me all the colors for the box. Give me all the silvers and my 2 autos. That's all I'm asking for. What are we doing?
Like a hobby choice.
Nobody's building sets. If you're building a set out there, and I'm probably wrong for saying this because I'm not the,
No, you're not wrong. Say
I'm
it.
not
You
the
could say
hobby.
it.
If you're a set collector, you're an idiot. Like you're wasting your time. It's not fun. It's not cool. All you're doing is wasting.
You have old guys with sets in their closet that are worth, from way back in the day, that are worth nothing. They're just sitting.
They'll say I'm not a
collecting
purist
dust.
of the hobby, but you know what? Like this business, this hobby ain't for the pure anymore. This is a fast-moving, high-level gambling experience if you are participating in this hobby. The cuteness of it and the allure of it has been taken away by the money that's been driven in. And that's a fact. And look, there's plenty of purists out there. Look, we work with Scott. Scott's one of the most purest hobby minds in the whole world. But like he works on this side. Like the way those people think now in the sense how they collect and stuff like that, I don't see as much as that when you go to the shows.
No.
It's more of a flipping world. It's more of a repack driven world. Shows to me in the last 24 months have completely changed the whole way of how it works.
Repackers made a big impact on the shows too.
Bro, I went away.
Because they'll just come in and they'll just wipe people out.
I took a 8-9 month hiatus, right? And then I probably didn't go to a show for 6 months after that when I got back to work. I went back to my first show and I could not believe people had signs up. We're paying 100%, 90%. What? What happened? Like, you know what I mean? Like who came up with this idea?
Well, the repackers came in and they pay strong. And so then people got accustomed to, well, I'm getting 95% over here from this repacker, and he's buying up every single card
I get
of mine.
why people sell to them. I totally
for
get it.
sure. But no, but it changed the whole mentality of the guys at the card show.
But I want people to put in perspective. If you listen to this and you shop on whatnot, right, and you buy into repacks, these people are paying 100% of the comp to then bring it to the table and sell it to you. Do the math here, folks. If they could buy the product at full price and then flip it to you time after time after time, you're overpaying for what you're buying. It's not that hard to figure out. Yeah, one guy's going to win, but everybody else is a loser. And you're recycling shit cards, highlighting one premier piece in every break. And look, the reality of it is some of these companies put really nice cards in there.
Yeah, I do.
So
I've seen them.
Yeah, no,
Well,
me too.
I took on a collection from a guy, and he had 20 big slabs in there. I'm like, where the fuck did you get these? I know you're not buying these.
all
And we didn't
repacks.
pull them for you. He goes, I was getting in repacks. I turned around, and I resold them back into a repack. So these cards are just getting recycled over and over again. And it's just crazy.
A lot of people always ask me, why don't you guys do a repack on whatnot? And my firm belief,
We tried it.
it's not that we try. We really never tried it.
No.
'Cause we've never
We
set
dipped our
forth
fucking
a
toe in it.
plan and sent a buyer into a room. And this is what I want. And this is how I want to run it. We've never done it like that. And I'll tell you why. It's like I think that bubble pops eventually, and I believe deep down in my heart that cards can only come from one place: sealed wax. So we'll provide that entity that will never die to the community, because that's what people really want. Look, people who buy repacks are like, oh, you get a better bang for your buck. Okay, buddy. Pull the case hit in a repack and then pull a one-of-one
Shield out of
Shield
NT.
NTRPA. Pull a a black prism of a key rookie. Pull a whatever. You know what I mean?
Superfractor.
Superfractor, right. Like that is the nuts. Pulling a true red auto. Pulling any key big bomb with a sweat in it, and it turns out to be a good player. Like at the end of the day, like
There's no better feeling.
the
There
red
really
Wemby,
isn't.
the red Wemby that guy pulled, that Scott pulled for that guy, Hurricanes, who sold it for 100,000+. That's the moment I live for. I'm for that moment. I don't need to sell people a slabbed up card in a box that I manufactured, and then I'm going to lie to you about how much the thing costs.
And it's hard to get excited over it. You can't get
Fuck that
excited.
Fuck that shit,
Yeah.
man. That shit's for the birds. And clearly, like, I'll tell you this. I think in the current state of the player pool in the football class, the top heaviness of the Wemby class, I think it is highly impressive to showcase that we've been able to break day in, day out, nonstop for the last, however long you've been doing it, however long I'm doing it for a year and 3 months straight of just breaking right now. I'll never go back to that side. I was a repacker. I was a mystery packer. I was a singles buyer. I did all of that. I had that whole side of the world, in my opinion, on lock. And I would never return back. And I know the margins there. Look, I know what these guys are making.
Yeah.
And God bless.
We all know.
I tip my cap to you, but I'm not going to put my head on the pillow at night knowing I just fucking bludgeoned, $100,000 out of people that work hard for their money and give us their time, and they want to give us their hard-earned money and want to experience. I may not hit for you every night.
But it's also the fact, like, on a repack, there's no getting in. You can't hit a card for $22
Never gonna
like you can on whatnot with if you're running a cereal and a guy somehow
That's what I'm saying.
gets a cereal that buys a cereal block for $25 and then hits a true RPA of out of NT, Anthony Richardson or whatever it might be. You're not going to have those type of fucking gains, really.
The guy bought the Wemby. He hit the Wemby red spot on the wheel on release day for like $80. Sold the card for 120 grand.
What card was that?
The true red Wemby auto with the alien inscription, 1 of 5.
Oh my God.
Hamra, I'll never forget, Hamra hit the Wemby cherry blossom for I think it was like $32. And again, 32 for 20,000+, 88 for 100,000+. I get it, man. You could hit the $20,000 repack card, But the likelihood is you spent $1,000 to get in, or you chased $5,000, $10,000 to get the card, and you're blowing your money and you're not giving yourself as fun of an experience or as pure of an experience as what this hobby is supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. Going back to your shit, right? We talked about it last week, like 13 months ago, you were homeless.
Yeah.
You have a fucking insane background story that I think a lot of people don't even know about. You're in the movie business, TV, I've been on
around the
set, then New York, fucking.
I always say this, like my life experience is my
playing
biggest,
poker with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, I've had some fun, man. It's
give like a 2-minute rundown of what the fuck, like from where you started to now
in this business.
Yeah,
COVID hits. My friends are all ripping cards. I'm like, what are you guys fucking doing? I learned that there's a lot of money in this. I get hooked. I have a film background. I'm like, you know what? Let's document all of this. There's 17-year-old young Jewish kids in Florida making millions of dollars. There's 40-year-old like old decrepit guys that have been in this business 20 years. And it's just like all these different personalities merging. And then I got hooked and I had my passion for it. And I ran around. I made a documentary for 2.5 years, start to finish. Subjected myself to thousands of different people, whether it be good, bad, or an ugly. And I ran around the country filming and meeting with all different types of people and making relationships with all different types of people. And I moved down to Florida and was a part of a company that launched that, became one of the bigger entities on the app. And I lost my mind at that time. And, I deal with an addiction problem pretty deeply, and I deal with some pretty dark-rooted mental health issues that I wasn't technically aware of as I was going through all this. And I had to take a step away from the business as I lost my whole entire mind. As you knew, you saw it firsthand. Had to slow it down, had to go to rehab and just learn how to cope with what I was going through. I'm a diagnosed bipolar. I take medication on a daily basis to, stay in line with what I do. And I'm very proud to know what I deal with. But I was running in this business at 150 miles an hour with no idea I had, vices that were, way bigger than what I was doing. And I was doing some major stuff, like in the sense of business. And it took the weight on me. And once it, the one thing about addiction is the second you let the problem become bigger than you, it's everything.
Consumes you.
It's my whole world. I couldn't wake up without, look, I was an Adderall abuser. So I would stream 20 hours a day and I would fucking, you saw it, man.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't eat. I would be fucking just out of my mind. And what it would do is it burns your brain out after the course of time. And, I went fucking nuts, man. And there are people out there that, I came up with a group of guys, and you know this, and geez, I was in his wedding party, and one of my best friends still to this day, and he checks in on me all the time. But there was another guy in Chance who was there for me every step of the way, and at some point, you got to put your hands up and go, this fucking guy's out of his mind. And, you lose people along the way, and it sucks. And he's a guy that I will openly, always say, I don't go a day without regret of the torture I put some of these people through. And, they know my heart was genuine and I had a problem, but, I had some really good times with these guys, and I had to come back into a business that I had 5, you were one of those 5 guys, but it was G, it was Chance. I had a guy in Danny who I worked with, and I was very close with a lot of these guys, and these guys were my brothers. And, I had to go to the West Coast and clean up my act and, recreate my game again and my team, and did it from scratch.
You hit rock bottom. You fucking hit rock bottom.
But the thing with rock bottom that I want people to understand is that rock bottom there's a trap door, and you can always go lower and lower and lower. I thought, all right, we'll bounce back. No, it goes worse and worse and worse, and it'll compile and it compounds. And I spent, 6 months not getting any help, just running around thinking the world was against me, and it wasn't. It was me in my own fucking way. And, I know I wasn't completely wrong in a lot of the ways. Like, I'll be the first one to say it here. Like, I'm not allowed to stream on Whatnot. Yet I've brought $15 million in sales on the platform in the last 15 months.
You brought Bullpen over?
Brought Bullpen on there, which was
and now you have Blez.
And now I have Blez. And I paid the penalties from certain people that, a very big company on the app, who the company's owner is not a big fan of me, obviously. And, I
reached out to him for you.
Yeah. Everybody has tried. And again, I've put into perspective where I was a year and a half ago. Like, Mike, I didn't have $20 a year and a half ago. Now I have a house I pay for. I just moved my brother out here. I moved his friend out here.
You got a dog.
I have a dog. I have my own car that a company, Lexus gave me that car under my own name. You know what I mean? It's. I get crazy sometimes. I'm like, we got to, I have to slow it down sometimes and realize this business has given me a second chance, a second life, and I'm really good at it, I believe. And, I love what we get to do on a daily basis. I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't here, but, this business has taken everything I've had and given it back to me, which is very hard to find, in the world. Because most times, these people told me I'd never work again in this business.
You are the Michael Myers of the hobby. Every time you think he's dead, he does that little, he rises his head up and he just comes back. He just come back. You actually said something to me the other day that I was like, holy shit, George is like legitimately changed. I got off the live and I called you and I'm like, fuck, man. I work off percentages. The last 3 days have been brutal. I haven't sold anything. I can't fill a break. And you're just like, Mike, you live another day, man. You're alive. You're good. You live in Vegas. Your girls are healthy. Your family's healthy. You're married. Like, just go home, shrug it off.
Because that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, like, you were in a place a year ago where you were responsible for everything. And now we get to just go and drive our vehicle now, right? Mm. We don't have to worry about where the product's coming from and for shipping it, if it's on time, the DM and this and that. Invoicing.
Accounting, all the bullshit that goes behind it.
For me, my biggest challenge always, I never got to rep the right brand. And I'll be openly when I say this, like, Bullpen wasn't the right brand. Mitch wasn't the right guy to go to the distance I wanted to go on this app. I love Mitch to death. And I'll sit here and say this in the same sentence. I'm nothing right now without Mitch.
He gave you a huge opportunity.
Mitch gambled on me when nobody would. And I like to think that it paid off for Mitch and it paid off for me because I brought him a great entity to his business and another avenue for his business to make money.
Right.
But we weren't the right match. I wanted to go, and make something.
You wanted to go 180 miles per hour.
Yeah, man. Like, I want to go for it. Like, I'm not going to sit around and sing Kumbaya around the campfire. Like, I'm not the type of guy that does $1 million in business and gets satisfied by it. Okay, let's go do $2 million this month, and let's go do $3 million the month after that. And you know what? A lot of people got a lot of opinions about me. I'll outwork anybody, and that's the fucking facts of the game. Like, I'm willing to sit there. Like, I had you guys at my house. I was just
going to bring this up. Just go ahead and say it.
I had 7 guys at my house watching the fights last night. Everybody left. The kid that was working with Ben on the Whatnot is like, hey, listen, I got to go handle something. My girl, Okay. I put my clothes on, took a shower, get in the car, and I fucking went to work till 6 o'clock in the morning.
You called me at 12:15. You said, I'm going to work.
Going to work. I said, Mike, I want to do the pod in the morning, so just make sure you come, wake me up. I'll be on the couch.
Yeah, you text me at 6:15 this morning. I'll be on the couch.
But that's my dedication to this business. And that's why, look, I can have funky days and I have funky weeks where, like, it's not there. I know at the end of the day, I'm going to show up and you're not. Like, because there'll be a day where I know I have something that nobody has right now. This business is everything to me. This is my wife. This is my kid. This is my fucking everything. You know what I mean? I live and die by this business. And at that point, I got to think, and again, I always say, come for me in my lane, because what I do is so unique. We don't do things like other people do. I'm not trying to blow out volume and give everybody, like, I want optimal buying opportunity for both sides. I don't want to get hurt, but I don't want you to get hurt. I want you to buy in for a good rate. I don't want to bludgeon anybody. Nobody spending more than $200-$300 on a spot in our breaks. That's the way I want it. And you know what? Like I get at him, I go over there last night. Ben's having a good night. I want to make sure he gets to see that through. You know, so
Yeah, Ben crushed it.
yeah, he had a great night last night. And you know what?
How long? He was live for a while, right?
16 hours.
16 hours.
And Ben's another guy, like, you know, for me in this business, like, I showed up to the bullpen. The guy was a fixture of the place. You know what I mean? He didn't have to fucking do anything. He was the fucking.
He's a giant.
He was a whale of Instagram. He controlled that whole world for that company. And, you know, he listened to me. And I told him, I said, listen, you're not getting compensated correctly. Follow me. And we're gonna make
that was another thing. I think Ben, this whole thing, this move to Vegas and the transition from bullpen to Bluz for you guys and us coming out here, so it was a big upgrade for Ben. Because I think Ben was being, at the bullpen, he was a big fish in a little pond in that sense. And I think it kind of helped him kind of like spread his wings to get the fuck out of there and kind of.
He deserved a bigger opportunity.
Yeah.
And most people go through life and just, and look, I am definitely a pain in the ass to Ben. And I know Ben's life was simple and easy before I came around. Okay? It was. And he'll tell you that. But I tell him this, like I tell everybody I work with, I just want to help you better your family, your life, and give you a better shot than what you have. Look, if you have a good situation, I'd never fuck with it. But, I'm not going to reveal the guy's personal business, but he needed a better opportunity. And this was the better opportunity, And Billy, who is a world-class jackass to, hang with. But when it comes to the baseball space, I'll go to battle with him every day, And Prestige, he's Don Juan DeMarco. He feels himself. He knows who he is. But that motherfucker gets in the chair and he'll work. And that's what I think nobody really expected from us coming out here is that nobody will put the hours in. Okay. We'll work. We work. And that's the motto. If you work, you'll get results.
I mean, the page has been 24/7 pretty much for.
Hottest page on the app for the baseball in the last 5 days.
Yeah, over 100 in the room last night.
I'm happy to say this, like, KK ain't like moving how we're moving right now, and these other companies are not moving the way we're moving. It's different, man. Like, what we do is different. It's not boring. I can't watch a breaker sit there and go, like, crank some fucking music, make me laugh, and let's go. Full throttle. You're getting an experience. You ain't gonna come in our page and fucking fall asleep. That's not happening on my watch, But for me, like, we go back to like the whole journey of like, bullpen was everything. Bullpen got us here.
It was a stepping stone for you to get to Blez.
Yeah, I also
and you needed that stepping stone because we talked
it.
on the phone almost every night.
Yeah,
after your lives, after my lives, and you're like, this isn't the end game. This isn't the end game.
I knew it wasn't, and like I said, like, I love Mitch to death, and without him, I'm nothing in this business now because of where I came from. But you kind of get an idea of what people's MOs are and what they're trying to capture. Like, Jared Blesnick wants to take over everything. His motto, in my opinion, is he can't exist in a space. We're either going to dominate the space or we're not going to be in the space.
We'll find another space.
Correct. And like, that's why, like, for me, I think me and him, we merged so hard in that aspect.
I think we all do that way. Because I think we all have that same mentality.
I think
we want to be the best.
A lot, and it's different for him because we are all self-creators. We're not salary workers. I don't get a paycheck every week. I create what I have. You know what I mean? Like, it's same for you. And that's, to me.
If I don't work, I don't get paid.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we got to go to work to get paid. People are like, whoa, what do you mean? Like,
well, that's why I told a lot of the supporters on like the Instagram side. They're like, oh, I'll come back to Instagram. I'm like, guys, listen, I'm on Fanatics Live now. This is like the home now for me.
Gotta come.
And I tell them, I'm like, they're like, well, the fees. I go, listen, you are supporting me more now
than you ever have. Yeah.
Even when I owned my own business, when I owned Daddy Rips and it was my own thing, I was making less than I am now because now I work for the money that I earn.
Of course.
And I don't. There's no complacency behind that. I have to. If I want to make money, I go live. I mean, there's been nights where someone will text me at 9:00 at night. Hey, I want to rip.
Yeah.
So I tell Kelsey, I got to go make money. This
the game.
is, last Sunday, I wasn't even going to go live last Sunday. I was going to sit back, watch football, get a text. Hey, you going live today?
Bro,
I am now.
That's why I feel like for me and like in my personal life, right? I ain't gonna be dating anytime soon. There's no woman that's gonna be sane enough that wants to stick around and watch this, because I'm gonna tell you, and you notice, I'm not gonna go anywhere anytime soon. I'm sitting here. I'll sit at that table night in, night out. I only asked. I said it to you last night with Ben. I said I only asked for a couple times. If I want to go to New York and hang out with my family, I want to watch the UFC on Saturday nights for 4 hours, and I like to watch pro football on Sundays. Outside of that, I'll be there all fucking day and night. But you know what? Like outside of that, I just want to relax. But right after, I go to work. You know what I mean? Like nobody will show up to work at 1:00 in the morning. Like,
yeah, who's going into work at 1 a.m.?
I'm down with that. I'm cool with that because I know that's what's needed. And if you don't bring that energy into your space, like whatever you do, you could be, a builder, a construction worker, a fucking insurance salesman, a Wall Street fucking broker. Anything you're doing, if you want to be insanely elite at what you do, you have to obsess over it. You have to be willing to want it more than the next person wants it.
Yeah, because if you don't do it, somebody else will. And you're setting an example for the other people around you. They're like, oh, fuck, George just showed up at 1:00 in the morning, worked till 6 a.m. Here I am,
again, I don't
not
think
even
I don't
willing.
even think the guys that look, they I'm pretty sure everybody that works for me thinks I'm insane. And I am. And that's okay though. You know what I mean? Like I found a way how to enjoy my insanity and enjoy my life now. And my life's a very enjoyable thing these days. As much as I like to stress out about certain things about work, that's just all business, man. Like,
yeah,
I live for that. I love to live for the unknown. If I wanted to know what was going to be, I would take a salary job. I'd say, Mr. Blesnick, can I be a salary worker on the YouTube? Because, I don't work that way. I love living for the fucking rush of it,
I do too. I'm the same way.
Like I went on last week and I got a bill the next day for $2,000. You know what I mean? Like I don't really like living for that part of it, but that's the rush. You know what I mean? Like, am I going to go in there? Am I going to make money? Am I going to lose money? Am I, but it keeps you on top of your game. You can't fucking slack.
Can't slack.
Bro, you go in there and you don't bring it, you're going to get crushed, man. You will get eaten up. Even if you bring it, you might get eaten up. Like that's why it's crucial to just always be ready.
Yeah. I'm going to end on this. I had somebody in my life tell me, why do you constantly defend this guy? And I said, because I truly fucking believe in him. I truly do. Several times. Why do you back this guy? Why do you defend him? Through all those fucking times, the highs and the lows and the real lows 2 years ago, year and a half ago, whatever. And I was like, because I fucking believe in him. And the whole time I'm like, we talked for the last 3 years, like we're gonna do something together. We're gonna do something together. And it's fucking finally here. And it's fucking awesome.
And I appreciate, and I say this all the time. You're one of my best friends in this world, not this hobby. And your loyalty to me means the world. And I'll say this, why you never gave up on me is the reason why we're sitting here. And I believe that is because I'm insanely good at what I do, and I bring a genuine energy to the table, and you got to see the good of it. So you were around during the good of my run, and then, when it got ugly and the going got tough, everybody bailed on me. And that's just how the world works. It's a cold world, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, I'll say this for anybody out there. You never write somebody off that deals with addiction. And you never write somebody off that deals with mental health, because you never know what someone's going through. And you know what? As much as I didn't need the sympathy from people, because I probably didn't deserve it from most people, you never give up on a human life that has energy and has something to it, right? I brought something to the table. You saw that. And I see that in other people. And like, I try nowadays to just help people and give back to that side of it. People that are struggling and people that are, I'll tell a story like this, and I'll leave you with this. Lil P's brother and I deal with something very similar, and he's called me in the middle of the night, 4 a.m. I pick up the phone no matter fucking what. And that's my brother. and I'll do anything for the guy because he didn't give up on me just like I didn't give up on him. And that's what you do for one another when you're dealing with something that obviously is much bigger than yourself. You know, mental health is something that, you know, I've lived in a place where I didn't know how I was going to, you know, wake up the next day. And I've lived in a place where I didn't know how I was going to make $1 the next day. But when you wake up and you just keep pushing forward, you'll get there. You just got to like work at it, you know, like nothing comes easy. You know, it's a process. I would never be able to guess I'd be working for Blez right now. But I'll say this is what I've always needed. I've always needed to work for a company that had actual merit. You know, I worked for some shitty fucking companies.
Yeah.
For some shitty people that do some shitty things. But at the end of the day, now I know I work for the king. And he is the king.
He is the king.
And you know what?
Say what you want, but Jared is the king.
You can't fuck with me now. Now, like when we went to the National, that man stood up for me in front of people that all they want to do is take me down. And when that happened, I'll tell you right now, I was a little fucking, you know, skittish going to the National. I'm going to deal with some shit. By the way, what am I going to do? I will beat the shit out of 95% of the people in this business. It's like 3 people in the whole hobby I don't like my chances against. But Jared stood up for me in a way where I said, all right, now you're all fucked because now I got a backer. And it's the actual backer. and now he's my, you know, he's my guardian angel. And you know what, bro? People deserve second chances. That's something that this business is really bad at and really good at in the same sentence. You see a lot of people that have had second chances. I'll tell you this. I've never fucked people over on a live. I've never done anything dirty on a live. I've never fixed a mystery pack on a live. I've never fixed any kind of fucking circumstances on a live.
Stolen any card.
Never stole a card. That's not me. I got fucking cornered by a couple guys that were much more powerful than me. They know who they are, and God bless. But what it's put me through, I wouldn't change for the world. I would never want to be the owner of that company right now than be in the position I'm in. And I genuinely mean that.
Yeah. I remember when you called me after during the National, and you were like, Mike, I'm so comfortable here. I feel, he's like, you were so... I feel like you were at ease because Jared, you went in there. You went in there like, I don't know what to expect. Well, I don't know how these people are going to receive me.
I showed up there and a lot of people had my back. Now again, a lot of people are fake because I work for Jared now. Like I'll tell you, like a lot of people down in Florida like pretend like they're my friend, but you're not my friend.
Listen, nobody. No, well, we said this on the way over here.
Nobody.
No, everyone wants to be friends when you're around, when you're face to face. Oh,
like,
we're
bro,
buddy
I don't want to
buddy.
shit on people directly, but like there are so many companies out there that are copying everything we do.
Yeah, they come in the live and they...
Damon's running Marvel and Disney. Now there's a company that's very good friends with Jared that's running that. And we run the cereal breaks this way, and everybody's running the cereal breaks that way. It's like, okay, we create player breaks. They do it. Wheel of Packs. They do it. At the end of the day, I'll just leave you with this. Obviously, the industry still needed me, and I'm glad I came back for it.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm glad you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
hey.
em.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck
yeah. All right, guys, that's it. Please follow, like, share, comment. Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, wherever the fuck you can find this. Go fucking download it. Next week, we might have a surprise guest. It could be really, really good. You want to tune in? Fucking tune in. Tune in or tune out. Or get fucked.